guys and girls, my name's Dan, I'm not in the forge, and in this episode of Trust Me I'm a Blacksmith, I want to talk to you about hammers. I'm on site at the minute, just finished this latch, it's looking really good, just doing a few final touches and adjustments and some stops and things, and it's working really well now. If you hang on to the end of the video, I'll do a little walkthrough of it working. The purpose of this video is to talk about longevity as a blacksmith, that's what I'm going to call it, and I know this is going to upset some people. I'm not saying what I'm saying is right or wrong, it's just I want to start a bit of a conversation. So if there's any of you guys out there who have information on this and you want to share it with me, like proper documented information from doctors and you know, physiotherapists and scientists and all that sort of stuff, just genuine hardcore data, that's amazing. Drop a comment, we'll get talking, we'll get some information together and we'll have a proper discussion about this. So basically this has come about, this subject that I want to talk about, hammers and the use of hammers. This came about because I got a comment from a guy called Charles Wright. I hope I got that right, Charles. Doc Chuck, as he put. I believe he's a doctor, he works in ER, and he was talking about the tongue clips that I made in the last video. Tongue clips help prevent you hurting yourself. You're not constantly holding your tongs, they give you a greater pressure, you know, they take a bit of load off your hand, and he was talking about using videos that he finds on the internet to show people how to prevent injuries from blacksmithing. And that got me thinking, one of the things that I find quite frustrating, and I have no evidence to back this up, is the use of inappropriate hammers and an inappropriate style of using that hammer. So let's get a conversation going about technique and hammers, and also how to help protect yourself while you're working in the forge. This isn't a lecture. If you want to use a big hammer, go for it, use a big hammer. I don't care, they're not my risks. But the one thing I would say, and the one thing that I have seen, which I think is important, is that I know a lot of older blacksmiths who left school like at 14, 15, they started their apprenticeships and they're still blacksmiths now, and they don't have problems with their wrists or their elbows. They might do, but you know, they've been doing the job for like 45, 50 years. And if you go back, their grandfathers, they might have been doing their job since they were 15 until they were like 50 or whatever, whenever they died basically. So the problem is, I see a lot of blacksmiths in general glamorising the size of hammers. I use a 2.5 pound Stanley patent ball peen hammer. I know a lot of blacksmiths use small hammers, and they're professional blacksmiths, they work every day, and apart from 2 examples, I don't really know of any blacksmiths complaining hardcore about their wrists. I also use a 4-pound hammer as well, and I use this for drifts and doing a bit of drawing out, and they're both on long handles, and basically the technique I use allows me to hit far harder with one of these little hammers and properly than I could if I was using this incorrectly. So there's a bit of a myth instilled. You're not a better blacksmith if you're using a bigger hammer. You might be a good blacksmith, but you're not a better blacksmith if you're using a big hammer. 2 pound, 2.5 pound, 3 pound hammers I probably would say are standard. And then also using them with a bit of centrifugal force, a bit of a whipping action, with a loose grip in the hand, and not completely locking out the elbow. So I was taught that at college. I know loads of blacksmiths who work like that. You look at any farriers, they're real whippy guys, they forge every day, they forge for a living, and I think it's an interesting conversation that we should get started. Young guys with big hammers aren't going to be forging in 10 years because they're going to have carpal tunnel, they're going to have a tennis elbow, they're going to have knackered shoulders. So yeah, swap it out for a little one. Now I might be completely wrong. I think high intensity for long periods of time is doing damage. I might be completely wrong. There's a blacksmith called Yuri Hoffy. I think it's Yuri Hoffy, I might be wrong. he makes quite stout, fat hammers, but the way he says to hold, it might be Harberman, the way he says to hold them is sideways on with a loose grip and a sort of a whipping action, not this punching that I see guys doing. It's a whipping action, not strangling your hammer. You know, that's the kind of thing that we need to get going. So, if you like this video, or you want to put a comment, or if you completely disagree with me, it's fine if you disagree with me. I don't know if I'm right. If you completely disagree with me, or you've got some information that you want to share, chuck it down below in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. And I hope I haven't upset too many of you. Cheers guys, see you later. Works! It's a success!